the immortal John Hancock, and today I'm going to be talking about Amiga CD32. And I acquired one in Canada a while back, years ago, and I'd like to show the box, the packaging, the games that I currently have in my collection, talk a little bit about this console, and it's pretty odd. And so other countries received this unit in the early 90s. It was 4 major places that carried the Amiga CD32, and that was Europe, Canada, Brazil, and Australia. And there was a lot of games made for this console. It's the equivalent of Amiga 1200, and it's cool. It's cool. Just in the States, we never received it. Though computer stores imported it and carried it, we technically didn't get it. So relax, sit back, and enjoy the video. So here it is. Here's the hardware I have for the Amiga CD32. It is important to note that you can convert this to an actual Amiga computer. There's some third-party hardware that you can get that wasn't included with the original Amiga CD32 to turn it into an Amiga computer. Now, Amiga CD32 is pretty obscure, and I want to showcase kind of what I have. And I also have some additional hardware that was included with my specific Amiga CD32 that's pretty unusual, and I'll get to that in a moment. Here's the actual unit. It's a very well built, sturdy piece of hardware. Really like how it looks too. It kind of reminds me of a Genesis, but it's not a Genesis. And there's the back of it. Hookups, power. Nice AS video built in. It's really cool. And really nice shape. I have a unit, nice shape. I have the original bag that went over the console inside the box. My box is a little beat up, but again, these are really hard to get now, so I'm just thankful to have a box. Did come with AV cables. Mine did. I do believe it came with one box controller, and this is the original. Pretty sure this is original, but it came bundled in with one controller. Now look at that controller. How weird is that? This is a really bizarre controller, and this Amiga CD32 I do believe is compatible with other controllers. It has a 9-pin, and it's compatible with some other things. I was told that, and including Amiga mouse, which you can use in the second controller port. Here's the manual. Multiple languages. Not much, just your basic stuff. Power brick, and boy, that's a power brick. Oof. RF switch. Came with some basic things. Now, this is a demo disc. Now, I did not know if this came bundled with the Amiga CD32. Originally, it came bundled with Oscar and Diggers. But I don't know if it came with this later. It later was bundled with Dangerous Streets. There were some different bundled packages, but I want to show that I have a demo disc for it, and I just included that in this video because I don't know. So maybe you folks can tell me, how did you get the Amiga demo disc? Now, back to the hardware here. There was this modem remote, kind of weird hardware, and this was only available in Canada. And it came with this remote. And it also came with a disc. Now, I don't have the disc, unfortunately. And what it is this is a user agreement. And this is a how-to guide for DirecTV. And I do believe Van City was a credit union. And there's a quick blurb on it on Wikipedia, but if anybody has additional information about exactly what this was used for, I was told it was some type of to do banking and stocks, but again, I'm not the expert. I didn't grow up with this, and it's pretty unusual that this came included with it. There wasn't a lot of information on it, so it's kind of cool. It has a Band CD quick start, and it has a TV guide, so you get this additional software and hardware, and you could run it on your Amiga CD32, which I thought was really interesting. So that was kind of cool. It also came with, you know, way to plug it in. You can go online. So I thought that was really cool. Early technology, pretty neat. So I'm going to showcase now my software that I have for the Amiga CD32, and then we're going to test this thing to make sure it still works. This is the software that I have for my Amiga CD32, and I'm just thankful to have this. This is accumulated over time. I got over half of this stuff in Canada. Again, always looking for more software for the Amiga CD32. It's pretty hard to find in the States. And here we go. So we have Fire Force, Pirates. My Pirates is sealed. Liberation, Deep Core. Also have Gunship. Now it's pretty interesting. The Amiga CD32 came bundled with some different packaging variation. That's kind of a long box. Also have some weird stuff like this, which is Dangerous Streets and Wing Commander bundle. Karate, Mean Arenas, Simon the Sorcerer. My favorite, the Chaos Engine, and I know there was a sequel, but that is also known as Soldiers of Fortune on Super Nintendo, Genesis, etc. So it's really cool to finally get that for the Amiga CD32. Oscar, Arabian Nights, John Barnes, European Football. I talked about this in an earlier video, but Alien Breed 3D. And what Amiga did is they had these weird large box PC bundles that included a floppy disk for the Amiga, but also they included a disk to run on Amiga CD32. Pretty interesting. D Generation, Lotus Trilogy, James Pond, Zool, Castles 2, Alfred Chicken, a disc for Labyrinth, and I have this too. This is pretty cool. This was found by Corey Strite at a local yard sale, and it's just a bunch of Amiga demo discs, including some CD-TV games, and including the Amiga CD32 Gamer. This is, I think, one of the only demo discs I have specifically for the Amiga CD32. And that's that. I mean, that's kind of the software I have for the unit. I'm going to go ahead and test the console with the Chaos Engine to make sure, does it still work? I also want to note, you're probably wondering, why is there an Amiga mouse here? And you can use the Amiga mouse to go to a boot menu by pressing down the buttons. And it's kind of nice. You can do some adjustments that way when loading the Amiga CD32. And so just wanted to turn this on here. It's booting right up. That's a good sign. Alright, I wanted to show a little bit of the gameplay. This is it running off of CRT, AV cables. Pretty cool. I've never seen this cinema before, so again, I'm just showing it the best I can. That's cool. Never seen this cinema before. So I wanted to show a little bit of the gameplay. So it's kind of cool. It's a two-player game. You can play with a computer as well. There's a password feature. Just to let people know, this was called Soldiers of Fortune on the Genesis, Super Nintendo. You can choose also the computer. It's kind of cool to play this version we've played the Genesis one so much, so it's nice to see this one. Looks great. So there you have it. That's my Amiga CD32 collection. I've been wanting to show that on the channel for quite some time, and I'm really happy that my console still works. Do you collect Amiga CD32 or Amiga? Let me know. Comment below. Is this something that you've never seen before? Did you have any experience with it growing up? I have a link below if you're looking for Amiga stuff. That's the place. eBay is pretty much where I find my items. It's not my favorite, but other than conventions, it's pretty hard to find in the States. And so thank you so much for people to continue to check into my humble channel as I march towards 60,000 subs. I'm really excited. I have a lot to show in some upcoming videos, and I like to show more stuff like this. This is the type of stuff I like to show on my channel, this oddball stuff, and I've gotten some requests for it among some other things. And I haven't forgot about consoles such as the 3DO and other 90s consoles. I'm doing 3 videos a week still, and I also have a Patreon if you want to support me there. Thank you. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock. You take care.